Have you ever wondered how to bring about more happiness in your life? Well, stick with me because I'm going to give you 3 proven ways to improve your happiness and the sense of fulfillment that you get out of life. Now, for me, happiness is typically spending time with my daughters. But the thing is, happiness is the key to personal growth. I mean, after all, why would you try improving yourself if it didn't actually lead to any kind of happiness and fulfillment? It would almost make no sense. And improving your happiness leads to improved motivation, leads to greater peace of mind, often a lot of improved self-worth, and all kinds of other good stuff too. And when you know what makes you happy, and you can align your actions and your mind towards what it is that makes you happy, you will start to lead a much more fulfilling, obviously happy, and productive life. Even better still is that when you know what makes you happy, you can shift your focus from negative, self-destructive, self-sabotaging behaviors towards more positive, fulfilling, and rewarding actions and thoughts, taking you where you want to go and towards that happiness. You see, for most of my adult life, I have been unhappy. And it's only in the last few years that I've begun to unravel this, because I didn't know what it was that made me happy. And again, I'm beginning to get a handle on this. Being in here in Fiji, I've had a lot of time to reflect and to think about what it is that I want from life, what makes me happy, what I don't want from life, and what makes me unhappy. And the mission for me is to cut out what I don't want and what makes me unhappy, and focus a lot more on being happy. So take a moment to reflect on what it is that makes you happy. Now pause the video if you have to, but this is worth spending a little bit of time on. What makes you happy? You don't have to make notes, you can, it would be helpful. But what makes you happy? What brings you joy day in, day out, week in, week out in your life? Now this could be your family, could be your hobbies, could be relationships, could be things that you're involved in. It could be past memories and past experiences of exciting and joyful things that you've done. But reflect on it, give it a few minutes. For me, as I've said, it's spending quality time with my daughters, but I also enjoy sitting in a cafe, just watching people. I enjoy going to see rugby matches. That brings me a great sense of happiness and joy. I like being in the nature wherever I can. There's a whole load of things that make me happy, and I try to do as much of them as I can. Even to the point yesterday where I helped a friend of mine sand down the bottom of his boat so he can begin to resurface it and cover it. Yes, it was hard work, but it was good fun. We spent a few hours doing this together, and actually it made me happy. It was a good time. Now let's take a bit of a step back, because there are people like me who've struggled to be happy. So I want to just talk briefly about what it is that stops us from being happy. What gets in the way? Now, a big reason why so many people struggle to be happy, and this is particularly applicable to men, is suppressing emotions. Now, this leads to all kinds of anxiety, all kinds of stress, can lead to mental health issues, can lead to self-esteem challenges as well, because we're not being able to be open. It stifles relationships because we struggle to be vulnerable and share what we're truly feeling. And this is probably the biggest deal, particularly amongst men. Another common barrier is tying your happiness to a feeling of success. And yeah, this creates all kinds of anxieties and stresses and pressures that, quite frankly, you just don't need. Another one is lack of meaningful connections. Now, like I said, if you can't express your emotions, you'll struggle to connect with people on a deep level, probably even struggle just to make friends. And this can lead to all kinds of issues such as loneliness, and that in itself is far from funny. And another one is neglecting your physical and mental well-being. Lack of self-care, poor lifestyle, poor diet, no exercise whatsoever, not looking after yourself emotionally. And this all adds up to denting your happiness. And finally, comparing yourself to others is quite something as well. The social media doesn't help here, the advertising industry doesn't help here, and comparing yourself to others is quite prevalent, particularly amongst young women, where they don't feel like they measure up if they don't look like this or don't wear these clothes. Again, it's a way of destroying your happiness. So, enough of the doom and gloom. What can we do to cultivate a happier life? Well, I'm going to give you 3 proven tips, and you can do any or all of them, but I recommend that if you're struggling with happiness, you just get started. Pick one and go with it. Now, the first one is gratitude. Expressing gratitude for the good things in your life, and it doesn't matter how rotten you think your life is, there will be good things. Expressing gratitude has been shown in numerous studies to give you a greater sense of self-worth and purpose, and lead to greater happiness as well. Now, this is all about small things. What is it that's happening in your life, going on in your life, that you're grateful for? If you're old and near the end of your life, just living another day is something to be grateful for. If you've got kids, I promise you, be grateful for your kids. Yes, they might be a pain in the rear end at times, but be grateful, because they'll grow up and go on and do their thing. So make the most of the happy times when they're young. It could be your job. Do you have a job that you particularly enjoy? If it pays you and enables you to live and enjoy your life, be grateful for your job. It could well be for something going right in your life. You know, you catch the green light as driving to work, or you know, the bus is nice and warm on a cold day. Whatever, just express some gratitude. You can journal it if you want. A lot of people do, and it's often recommended. But express some gratitude. There will always be good things going on in your life. The next one is mindfulness, or being in the moment. Then there is a lot of overlap between the two. I don't know if you've ever had the situation where you're spending time with your family, but you're not in the room. You're thinking about work, thinking about things you've got to do, thinking about your massive to-do list, thinking about other stuff going on in your life. You're just not there. Now, I heard this in a seminar a number of years ago, and it still rings true. If you're in the room, be there. Wherever you are, be there. Now, the thing is, especially with kids, they effectively want you to be there. They want to spend time with you. They want happy times with you. They don't want all of the trappings. What's more meaningful to children, in my experience and the experience of others, is you and your presence, your whole presence. Be there. Wherever you are, be there. And the last one is purpose. Live with purpose. Now, the Japanese call this ikigai. It's living with purpose. And this doesn't have to be anything major. You don't really need to be going out and trying to change the world, but having a purpose in your life gives you motivation and gives you something to focus on and be happy about. My purpose is to get back to New Zealand, repair the relationship with my daughters, and also then to leave them a legacy going forward. That's my ikigai. That's my reason or my purpose. And I'm going to do a deep dive into ikigai. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, enable notifications, and YouTube will let you know. Now, ikigai falls into 4 categories. And the first one is your passion. What are you excited about doing? I like making YouTube videos, for example. I like sharing knowledge and helping people. I'm a big fan of that. The next one is your skills. What are you good at? What can you apply? The third one is contribution. How are you making the world a better place? And like I said, you don't have to go out and change the world, but if you improve the life of just one person, to some extent, you have changed the world. And the last one is livelihood. What do you do that pays the bills? And if you bring all of these 4 things together, you will live a life of fulfillment and happiness. And that's what ikigai is all about. And like I said, I'm going to do a deep dive. Make sure you subscribe. Now, something to consider with all of this. Happiness is a now, in the moment experience. You can't be waiting for happiness. Just because you think something is coming, there's no reason to not be happy now. Now, this is easier said than done. But happiness is a now experience. It's not waiting. It's not over there. It's not when I get this or do this, I'm going to be happy. No, be happy now. Choose happy thoughts. Choose to dwell on happy occurrences. Choose to dwell on the exciting, happy things that have happened or are happening in your life. Look for reasons to be happy. So, just a quick recap. We've looked at happiness, what it means for you, and I strongly recommend you reflect on this. I've looked at the reasons why happiness eludes so many people. I've also shared 3 key tips on improving your own happiness. Gratitude, mindfulness, and purpose. So what I'd like is just to know what makes you happy. Share in the comments below what it is that makes you happy, what brings you joy every day. It would be great to hear from you, it'd be great to get some discussion going on this. But, as I've said before, wherever you are, be there. Happiness is a now experience. So let's work together. Make your and my life a heck of a lot happier from now on.